Buenas noches, sports fans. Welcome to our latest edition of Sports Speak. We are back here at Mighty Purple Cafe in the heart of Hagåtña. And again, we have a special guest. This time, it's softball superstar Bubba Nickles. Bubba, thanks for joining us. You've been on island for just about a week. My goodness, can you tell us how it's been with you for this past 5 or 6 days so far on Guam?
It's been pretty hectic. I've had a, loaded itinerary, but it's been a lot of fun because I've never been here before. So being able to explore around the island and do a bunch of things and see family and friends, it was a blast. I wish this week could go longer.
So speaking of family, let's start with that. Growing up again, like you said, this is the first time that you're here on Guam. Have you gotten closer to your Guam ties, and how do you feel, after a week spending with them and going down to Inarajan and getting that feel for where your roots are from?
I really feel a lot closer to my family from Guam now because, I've never really heard much about them before. I reached out, GSPN has reached out to me, so I came down here and we stayed with them this whole week, so that was really awesome because I got to see all the babies in the family and all of the aunties and uncles, and I got to learn a lot about our culture. And my mom, she's from Inarajan, and we got to visit once, and it was really enlightening because I got to see where my grandpa and grandma, they grew up, and it was really neat historically, and just overall the island, how everyone knows each other in the villages. I think it's really cool how everyone's so close to each other.
Most especially in Inarajan, which is a historic village, and even us that live up here in the central and the northern parts of the island, we love to go down there and just get away from life a little bit and down to where it's a little bit or a lot more slower. Is that the sense that you got when you went down there?
Yeah, there was definitely not as many people. I noticed that it was a lot more chill and laid back. It was really calming just to be able to drive around and see the different houses in our village, and I really loved it because there's a lot of people on Guam, and just being able to see the different parts of it and where people live and where people like to hang out that's the best part. They're letting me in with open arms.
So let's take it back a little bit. Prior to coming to Guam, we've been setting this up for the last couple of months. How excited were you, and did it meet your expectations with everything you've experienced so far?
I've always been excited to come to Guam because I've always heard so many great things about it, and it's beautiful here. You look at pictures online and on social media, and it looks better than any other vacation spot in the world, in my opinion. And I think it far exceeds my expectations. I came here thinking I was just gonna, put on just softball clinic and play in an AllStar game, but really I became so close with the people here and got to see so many beautiful places on the island, and it was an awesome experience.
And that's just a hint of what we've got to offer. So let's talk about your parents, because they came with you. Ted and Natalie. Your mom, obviously everyone knows that she's from here. Your dad is a Tennessee boy. How was their experience coming along with you for this special trip?
They're my best friends. They go with me everywhere. I don't think I ever recall a game or a practice that they didn't miss throughout my softball career. And it was just awesome to be able to experience this whole trip with them because they've always been there for me and supported me. So even my mom being able to come back and see family, and my dad being here for the first time along with myself, it was just overall just so great and so full of love and happiness.
I spoke to the Nickles earlier, and the mom and dad mentioned that they have not missed any of Bubba's games so far in college. And living 4.5 hours away from UCLA, that's a big sacrifice on their part, but that also shows the type of dedication that's required for an athlete such as you to have that type of parental support. So how important is that for your success on the diamond, having that type of support from your parents?
Day one, I said it and I'll say it again, they're my backbone. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have any idea of what direction to go in life. They've guided me through everything, and they've financially, emotionally, and mentally, and they've always supported me in every aspect of my life, and I'm so grateful for that because I know a lot of people who don't have that opportunity to be close with their parents. So I'm really grateful just to be able to have my parents with me wherever I go, and they're always supporting me, and they love me. I love them too.
So let's talk about softball. You're well documented about your accomplishments in your career. You came over for a purpose and to give back, not only to look at, experience your roots and the island of Guam, but also to share your experience and your expertise. What was your expectations coming over, especially going into the initial camp on last Thursday? Of course, it rained out. Last minute, we went into the gym and it turned out pretty well.
Mm-hmm. I didn't have any particular expectations. I was more focused on what I could provide for the girls. I know that there are a lot of great athletes on the island, so I knew that I was going to be working with some great athletes from the get-go. And so I was really just hoping to reach out to them and motivate them to go to the next level and to keep working hard and never give up, basically, and just teach them what I've learned throughout my career, because a lot of them, they're older than me too, so I have a lot of respect for the fact that they have a little bit more life experience for me. So the fact that they're able to listen to me on the softball aspect of things, I'm really grateful that they're so coachable and so open-minded.
And now, the next day, we were supposed to have the AllStar game, and we almost didn't have it, but luckily the skies cleared a little bit for us for Sunday evening. You mentioned on the GSPN story that you were nervous going into that game. Why were you nervous, considering you played in the World Series, you played in the biggest stage, and then you're nervous to play here on a smaller scale of a game on Guam?
Well, I mean, these athletes, they're like top notch in my opinion, they go out there and they compete. So being able to be on the same field with them, I never think of myself as better than anyone. I always want to reach the potential of who I'm playing with. And so it was an honor just to be with them. They're so scrappy and they play the game with so much pride that I'm going to take that back to my own softball career in the States.
You stepped on the field. Normally you've practiced with your teammates. This time you're just like onto the field. You don't know anybody on the field. I mean, it kind of had to have been a little bit awkward, right? How was that? And then how did it smooth into where everything was okay? And especially, I'm sure the girls were nervous with you coming on board.
It was a little bit uncomfortable at first because, softball is where it's a team sport, so of course it helps to know your teammates, but since we didn't really have the opportunity to get to know each other, it was cool to be able to get to know them playing and actually in action. So I really got to see them, play with their hearts, and it made me even more open because I saw how happy they were playing with each other, and they were joking around, and I loved it because everyone was so loose and they just played the game like it's a game. They realized that, and they just want to have fun, and it made me loosen up a lot. So I really appreciate them and how they play.
Any comparisons of or differences of how the game is played here, whether it's the skill level or the attitude as compared to what you're used to in the States?
There's definitely a lot of comparisons. They play just as scrappy as a lot of the athletes that I've played with. And, the game, if you want to do well, you got to play hard, and you can't play with emotion. You have to play with your brain and your body. And so it's really all about just going out there and giving it your all without focusing on the outcome. And so I feel like they adhere to that, the athletes do. So I would say that I saw a lot of my teammates from the States in them, and it was just a really great opportunity to be out there with these girls who are just so sweet, not only just as athletes, but as people. They're amazing girls.
What did you think of the cool uniform concepts of making it UCLA colors?
It was really cool. I thought it was really neat because I had a blue shirt and a yellow shirt now, so I'm going to definitely wear it in the States a lot. I thought it was really neat that you guys were able to pull that off.
Awesome. Okay, so you did go over from blue to gold, right?
Yeah.
And both teams made you pitch. So how was that? We know that you haven't pitched in a couple of years competitively. Mm-hmm. So how was that to showcase your pitching skills to the Guam fans?
It was intense because those hitters, they didn't take it lightly. They took it like, I'm going to hit this girl. So I was like, okay, I got to go out there with some good stuff. But pitching, it was a lot of fun because I'm in the circle and all these girls, they come in the circle and we support each other, and they were supporting me, and they were saying, hey, we got your back, get the strike out. And it made me feel really good because I was like, okay, let's just have some fun. That's how they made me feel. But yeah, pitching, it was a lot of fun.
And then after the game, everyone got together, and taking pictures with you. How was that?
It was a blast because I got to actually meet more people, outside of the game, because there was a lot of supporters who were there. And it was really cool just to be able to see the little girls that came out to watch, and all the parents and even grandparents and aunts and uncles of all the girls. It was really a cool experience to pretty much meet everyone's family, it seemed. And so I was really grateful just to be able to take pictures with them and make memories.
Have you ever had a game where after the game you had a roast pig waiting for you?
No, that was the first timer. I've never had a roasted pig for me, but it was a cool experience. It tasted pretty good too.
So you've done a lot of stuff. It looks like this trip has exceeded your expectations, and we spoke, since when you first arrived, looking forward to the future, because it looks like this is definitely not going to be your last time coming to Guam. What do you see that you can probably bring back in the future to add on to what this trip has provided for the island?
I would say that bringing back in the future, I hope to just be able to reach out to even younger players. My goal is, the softball program has just recently started up, as the girls were telling me, for the past few years. And it's amazing just to see how many girls are already involved and love the sport so much. So it would be great to come out and be able to work with even younger girls and pass down the tradition of playing ball, and just through the generations. So, I just hope to bring more skill sets back and bring back even possibly teammates. That would be really cool to bring out other girls from the States who are tomorrow, and I really just want to make this grow because I really see a lot of potential.
And one last thing, you're going to be heading back to LA, getting ready for your junior season, going to hit the books once again, right? What are you going to be telling your friends and your teammates about your trip here?
Well, they've seen it all over Instagram, but I am for sure going to tell them the potential that's out here, because Guam, it's not on the map yet, and I really feel like it's important for everyone in the States to know who these athletes are. So I'm going to tell them how awesome everyone was, how everyone was like a big family, regardless of what village or what background we come from. It was just amazing. The food was great. You never are starving here. You're always full. So that's a plus. But yeah, I'm just going to tell them about how amazing it is here, and that everyone should come here, regardless if it's on vacation or for a trip. That it's always an amazing experience.
Well, it's been our pleasure, Bubba Nickles, for hosting you, bringing you and your mom and dad out to Guam. You've made a big impact on our island, and we look for more things to come. We will continue here, at least at GSPN, to continue to support you in your career, as we always have. And we look forward to work with you guys again, and for better and bigger things, for not only for you, but for softball in Guam. So once again, thanks for Bubba Nickles taking your time out with her parents, Ted and Natalie, all the way from Merced, California. So we're so happy that they took some time off on their summertime to join us here on Guam. So on behalf of the Nickles family and everybody here at GSPN and Mighty Purple Cafe, I'm Patrick Lujan. We're out.
Is this a close? Am I closing out? Okay. This is Bubba Nickles. We're here in Mighty Purple Cafe. It's really awesome here. You guys should come check it out. Check out GSPN because they're pretty great. And stay saucy. All right. Peace.